Hey guys, Leon Mooky here, and I'm back with another part of What If Izuku Had Rean Schwarzer's Powers. This is part 6. In the last part, Izuku and Bakugo fought against Momo and Laura, which both Izuku and Bakugo had a hard time fighting against Laura. However, they edged out a win in the process, with Laura actually taking an interest within Izuku, and Momo actually may like Izuku. So, with that said, let's get into this. As the day ends and Izuku and Bakugo head back home together, saying, man, Laura was really something else. If anything, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind fighting against her again one day. Saying, same here. But this time, I'm not gonna lose to that sword bitch again. As Izuku saying, oh, come on, Kachan. Don't let it get to you. She was just strong. And besides, remember, her dad is the number 3 hero in Japan. As Izuku with Bakugo saying, whatever. That doesn't mean a damn thing. After all, I plan on becoming the number 1 hero. Just because. So I'll probably beat her own man one day as well. As Izuku saying, yeah. Good luck with that, Kachan. I'll be rooting for you if you can. As the two go walk off on their own. With Ochako saying, I'm actually kind of glad that Izuku won his match. What do you girls think? As Suyu saying, Midoriya is really resourceful with his quirk, and he's got a strong determination. With Mina saying, I think he's glad he won too. Besides, he's really cute after all. As the girls began blushing, saying, Ashido, saying, what? I think we're all thinking it. Don't you agree, Laura? You haven't said anything about Midoriya ever since. And saying, Midoriya is a strong opponent, and I do look forward to fighting him again one day, but I can't really say otherwise about anything else. That's all. Excuse me, I need to go. As she walks off with Suyu, Mina, and Ochako kind of confused and saying, does she have a crush on Midoriya? With Laura heading out of UA as well, as she soon remembers what Izuku did and what he looked like with those red eyes of his. And she's saying, did I really just see him have red eyes? I thought for sure he only had green. With that, Laura soon heads off back to her place. Next day, Izuku and Bakugo heading to UA as they tagged along with Emma as well, since she lives nearby in their neighborhood. As soon as they arrived, they were soon bombarded by tons of reporters who were asking questions about All Might. As Izuku felt a little bit nervous, the same also goes with Emma as well. As Bakugo, he basically says, get out of my way, you damn news dogs. As they were all shocked and surprised that Bakugo said all this. With Izuku saying, typical Kachan, never change. With Bakugo saying, come on, Hano, do you want to be late? Same goes for you, Four Eyes Girl. As saying, is he used to just calling people by nicknames? As Izuku saying, yeah, it's kind of his thing. It's easier for him to remember people by giving them stupid nicknames after all. I think he has always called me Hano ever since we were kids. As soon as they make it through UA, Aizawa saying, you guys should be going to class. With Bakugo saying, yeah, we're on it, Mr. Aizawa. As Izuku saying, good to see you, Mr. Aizawa. If also Emma bowing saying, hope to see you in homeroom class. With one of the reporters saying, excuse me, sir. You don't look too well. Have you not got much sleep? Soon, as I was saying, if you're looking for All Might, he's not on campus right now. If anything, he's doing hero work. So, stop bugging my students. With then, Aizawa leaves. With soon, the school gate began closing in all of the reporters' faces. As they all as everyone in Class 1A arrives, is Machias and Usus still getting into a fight, mostly about how they were forced to be teamed together back during their battle training exam. So yeah, they're still kind of pissed. The two of them are still kind of pissed with that, but with Machias being not the caring type. With Izuku saying, if the two of you actually worked together, you guys could have, won. I mean, you guys' quirks are really awesome. Is Maki saying, don't tell me that. Tell this guy that. And saying, I don't have to say anything. If anything, you're the one that really should know the concept of teamwork better than me. As Maki saying, what was that, Albarea? If Yus is saying, I think you heard me, Regnance. As the two are in each other's faces again. With Izuku saying, could you imagine that would be us, Kachan? With Bakyo saying, yeah, I can imagine. But I doubt that would actually really happen to us, if anything. We're too in sync, even though you do annoy me from time to time, Hano. As Izuku saying, same to you, Kachan. Same to you. With everyone now in their seats, and Aizawa soon arriving saying, alright everyone, time for y'all to sit down and quiet down as well. I want to go over what you all need to improve on and what you all did well during your battle training. So, starting with Arcade, Yayorozu. Both of you have an amazing quirks and you had a pretty sound plan. However, Midoriya and Bakugo's tenacity and to never give up attitudes basically overwhelmed you. Don't let this loss take you both down. As Momo saying, yes sir, I will improve myself more often. As soon Laura saying, it was only natural that they won. I will improve and get stronger in the meantime. With Aizawa saying, alright then. Well, next up, Todoroki. You still need to work. I can tell it's true that your team won, but you need to work more on your teamwork. And the same also goes for you two. Regnance, Albarea, stop arguing with one another and start taking this seriously. If you're going to be working as heroes, you're going to need to work with people that you know you're not going to like. With Yusa saying, of course, sir, I understand. And Maki saying, yeah, I'll try, sir, but I can't promise you anything. Good. Now, time to bring up some things that you're all going to need to think about for your future. As everyone begins feeling kind of nervous, with Kirishima saying, oh man, is it going to be another surprise exam? Is Mineta thinking, are we going to be expelled? I can't go through that again. You all need to choose a class rep. With Aizawa saying this in just his normal tone, with everyone soon thinking to themselves with such relief and saying, just regular school stuff. As soon Izuku saying, that makes sense. Normally class rep stuff in normal high schools would seem kind of tedious and annoying. But with Bakugo finishing Izuku's sentence saying, it's a good way for you get scouted out by pro agencies, proving that you're a good team player and a team leader. So it's only natural that I become class rep. As everyone begins voting for themselves to choose to be class rep, as they're hoping that Aizawa would pick somebody. And Izuku thinks, I guess that's only natural that they would think this. As soon Maki is saying, enough everybody, I think we should all choose about who we want to be class rep. As even Ida's saying, I agree with Regnance. After all, if we may not all know each other, but I think it's the best way to choose on who we believe to be the best choice. We can even vote for ourselves if need be. And saying, so, who? With Emma saying, I can draw everyone and see on how many votes everyone has. As Izuku saying, I can help out with that as well, Milstein, if you want. After all, 4 hands are better than 2. Soon, Izuku and Emma basically tally up all the votes as their class reps being Okay, guys, I'm actually going to change things a little here. Instead of it being like Izuku or Momo, like it would like the choices that were in canon, I'm actually going to make a little change here. In this one, the class rep and vice rep being the class rep being Emma and the vice rep being Machias, just like how it is in Trails of Cold Steel, actually. So yeah, Ida is still kind of annoyed that he didn't get class rep or chosen to be vice rep either. As he's saying, I think I can work with this. Milstein is pretty cool headed, especially when during the exam. Even though she didn't win, I think she's a perfect candidate. As everyone else agrees, alongside Laura, Kirishima, Bakugo, even though he thinks he doesn't really care that much. However, Eustace kind of complains, okay, I'll bite, who voted for regnants after all. As Maki is saying, why are you so pissy? Everyone voted for each other. So you can't complain about this, Alborea. With Eustace saying, fair enough. I guess it only makes sense. I guess you could say I'm a bit of a sore loser then. Just don't ruin our class or hold back Milstein after all with your, childish attitude. As Maki's saying, why you little? Is even after winning, Maki still gets pretty irritated with Alborea's taunts. As Maki was saying, so annoying. Just get out of the way. I mean, you kind of blow up just like Maki's in a way, Gachan. Saying, you want to say that again, Hano? And this time you'll get an explosion to the face. As Izuku saying, I'm good, Gachan. Don't need to get violent here. As he tries laughing it off with his eyes closed. Soon, it's time for lunch. As the events go pretty similar as that is canon, as everyone freaks out about it being somewhat of a villain attack. However, Ida still does his thing about the host with Izuku. However, he had some help from Emma after all, using her quirk to teleport Ida onto the ledge in front of the exits of the cafeteria, getting everyone's attentions and telling them that it's not a villain attack, but it's media. Soon, everything kind of stays pretty simple. Everything kind of goes off a little bit easier. However, it's only Emma and Machias who are the class reps this time. So I hope you guys can understand a little change here. Instead of it being Ida or Momo or even Izuku, I hope you all can understand the little change I made. Soon after, as everyone arrives back, nearing it's the end of the day, and Aizawa soon explains, tomorrow we're going to be going to an off-campus facility for hero rescue training. So you can wear your costumes if you like. However, all of you haven't gotten used to them, so you can choose to be in your UA gym uniforms if you want. As soon the day ends and tomorrow comes, with everyone deciding to choose to wear their hero costumes, mostly because, why wouldn't they? They would love to. As soon, Izuku looks at Ochako, saying, hey, Ochako, didn't you get any upgrades for your costume yet? As saying, nah, not really. Couldn't really think of anything. What about you, Hano? As Izuku saying, yeah, I feel like this costume is easier for me, especially since it was made for my 8 Leaves fighting style after all. If anything, I'm more glad that they allowed me to take my sword for rescue training, if anything. Since it is incorporated with my quirk after all. As Bakugo saying, you're lucky you can actually bring it. They wouldn't allow me to bring my gauntlets. It's saying, yeah, why would you need your gauntlets for rescue situation, Kachan? That's kind of weird, don't you think? Saying, shut up! As he walks off into the bus, is Maki saying, yeah, they only allowed me to take one of my pistols. They wouldn't let me bring my shotgun, unfortunately. Is saying, yeah, I guess that makes sense too. Well, still, let's go, guys. As everyone takes a seat on the bus and begin talking amongst one another, as soon everyone begins bringing up situations like how popular they would be as heroes, how cool their quirks would be, and everything else. With Suyu saying that I think Midoriya would actually be a pretty cool hero. His personality is cool, and his quirk is pretty basic, but he incorporated it in better ways. As saying, thanks, Asui. As she's saying, call me Sue. With Kirishima saying, yeah, you're lucky, Midoriya. My quirk is only allow me to harden my skin, and that's it. As he's saying, no way, man. Your quirk is pretty awesome. Hardened skin? Just imagine you would be like an unstoppable hero rushing into danger to save others, don't you think? As Kirishima said, never thought of it like that. Guess that's a new way. Thanks, man. With Izuku saying, no problem, Kirishima. As Suyu saying, well, I doubt that Bakugo would be popular, given his personality. And the same could go for Regnance too. No offense, Machias. With Machias saying, some taken, not completely, only some. However, Bakugo's complete and total opposite, saying, what the hell you say, frog girl? As he blows up, with Izuku saying, calm down, Kachan. It's only a joke, right? With her saying, no, not completely, really. As saying, why you, Kachan? As everyone begins talking among each other, and Izuku trying to calm down his childhood friend. Shoto looks at Izuku, saying, his quirk is similar like my dad's, but it's not as powerful. If anything, I think he relies on that sword too much to improve his quirk. If anything, he's no threat. Not to me or anyone around him. With Shoto thinking this to himself. Soon, everyone arrives now at the USJ. As they go in, they soon see the space hero, 13. As Izuku began geeking out alongside Ochako. As Ochako saying, 13's my favorite hero after all. She's the one that kind of inspired me to want and become one. Izuku saying, really? That's awesome. As saying, I wish I could have met All Might. He's the one that inspired me to become a hero, though. Saying, really? I think you can meet him. He is a teacher here, after all. As soon the two Ochako's face is really close to Izuku as she began blushing and then turning around. With Izuku saying, you okay, Uraka? Saying, yeah, I'm fine. As she waving her face in front of Izuku, but still not looking at him. With Bako saying, looks like we got a first one after all. As Laura is looking at Izuku as her massive long sword is on her side. However, she has her hands on her chest. And she's saying, why do I feel like this every time I look at Midoriya? At Izuku? As soon Minasan comes up saying, hey Laura, you doing okay? You don't look so well. As Laura saying, I'm fine. I'm fine, Mina. Saying, you sure? I've known you for years. You never looked this serious, this kind of worried before. As I think you're imagining things. As 13 began explaining the USJ halfway, as saying that certain quirks can be used to kill people. However, even her quirk, but she's learned a way to help people using it. And some of you may learn ways to help people as well with your quirks that originally seemed dangerous. After saying this, Izuku's eyes began widening and felt like, what the hell is that? As soon he passes 13 and even Aizawa, as Aizawa is saying, Midoriya, what are you? Please, Mr. Aizawa, can you be quiet for a bit? Something doesn't feel right. Saying, I feel such a malice presence coming this way. As saying, what are you talking about? With Izuku readying his sword saying, damn it, looks like they're here. After Izuku saying this, a black portal soon opens in front of the stairs of the USJ. as everyone sees this, with Kirishima saying, I thought we were doing rescue training. Are we doing combat training again? As Izuku saying, Kirishima, this ain't combat training. This is the real deal. Those are actual villains down there. With soon a man with hands and also a big dude with that looks like he has a beak mouth with black skin coming out as well. Is Laura saying, I believe Midoriya is right. We're facing against actual villains here, everyone. As some began freaking out and some were actually surprised. With Aizawa saying, how the hell did they get in here? And Midoriya, did you? I'm not involved with this if you're asking that. No. I just felt such a dark presence. It's always what I've always been able to do. I've always been able to sense people and their presence, depending on their bloodlust, their feelings, their emotions, all of it. It's just something I was born with. And it's not a quirk if you're asking. As Aizawa was saying, so it's not a quirk. And it's not a side effect of his quirk either. It's actual ability he has? That's weird. As soon Aizawa was saying, enough of that. Any rate, 13, get all the students out of here as soon as you can. As he's saying, Mr. Aizawa, you're going to need help. Allow me to help you. With Laura soon coming up saying, allow me to aid you as well, Mr. Aizawa. Please. And it's saying, the two of you need to get out of here. Just because you are strong doesn't mean you have the right to fight against villains. Now go. As he jumps down the stairs, and as Izuku's saying, damn it, we can't just leave him out here to do things on his own. But I guess he's right. We don't have the right to fight against villains yet. We gotta go. As Baku's saying, you can't be serious, Hano. Are you seriously going to be running away? You're not the kind of person. Normally, you're right. I'm not the kind of person to run away. But this is a serious situation right now. We can't do anything, especially against this many villains, as Izuku's saying, oh shit. As Yaoyorozu soon asks, what is a Midoriya? There are multiple villains all over the USJ now. We are completely outnumbered. As she said, did you sense? Yeah, they're all over the place. My estimate is at least over 200, possibly even more. So we gotta go now. With soon a black haze of smoke coming in front of everybody, is saying, hello, students of UA. My name is Kurogiri. I am a member of the League of Villains. Originally, we thought that All Might would be here, but it seems he's not. So, I'm guessing we'll just have to kill one of you, or kill all of you to make an example of. As soon, Izuku's saying, everybody run! However, it was too late, as some people within the USJ was sent to different locations. However, Izuku saw the attempt coming a miles away, as he was able to dodge Kurogiri from consuming him, as he thinks, damn, I was able to make it, but I wonder if, as Izuku's saying, that metal brace, it's the only thing that doesn't change or transform when he's around, so it must be. As he soon channels his flames through his sword, throughout the sheath of his Itachi, and screams out, Crimson Slash! As a shockwave as a fiery slash is sent at Kurogiri. Soon Kurogiri feels it, and saying, that boy, he must have figured me out. If I take another hit, I most likely might not be able to bring myself back together again. Soon, a couple other people that stayed that weren't sent, being Laura, Usis, Mina, Ochako, Makis, and Ida as well, and Aoyama too. So, as they were the only ones who weren't sent everywhere, as he realized that a couple of students were sent to different locations. if Izuku intervened earlier, maybe he could have stopped Kurogiri. But realized now's not the time. As he realized, Ida, you need to get out of here as soon as possible. With Izuku saying, but what about all of you? But Maki is saying, he's right. You're the fastest out of all of us. With Ida saying, but isn't Midoriya faster? With Izuku saying, my speed is not like yours. Your quirk was made for speed. My speed was made. I still have limits on how fast I can go. You have your limits, but they're lesser than mine. You're the fastest one here. You need to get out of here as soon as possible. As soon 13 saying, I'll stall for time. You go, Ida. You may not, as Izuku saying, you may not be class repped, but you're the best one we have right now. So, I trust you. With Ida feeling a bit nervous, but Maki saying, go for it, Tenya. I believe in you, man. After saying this, Machias has his hands on Ida's shoulders, with Ida saying, Machias, all right, thank you. I'll do this. I'll give it everything I got and bring back help. So please, everyone, stay strong. After saying this, Ida runs as fast as he can back to the end to exit out of the USJ. However, Kurogiri tries his best to capture Ida, with Izuku and Laura using their quirks, with Izuku firing another Crimson Slash, and Laura bringing out her Azure Cleaver, as a huge burst of fire and an energy like a shockwave was sent at Kurogiri, stopping him in place. As Ida was able to make it out of the USJ, with Izuku saying, all that's left is to take care of this guy. But I feel like he's nothing but a puppet. The real person that needs to be taken care of is the guy with the hands. But that guy that's right beside him, the big dude with the brains coming out, I can't sense anything from him, but I can feel such an overwhelming pressure coming from him. With Laura saying, so you can feel it too, can't you, Izuku? Saying, even though I don't have the same ability you do, I can just feel something radiating off of him, and it isn't good. And as Izuku saying, Laura, I'm entrusting you as saying, you're not doing this alone. I can tell you're the kind of person to basically self-sacrifice yourself for others. You're not doing that, Izuku. As Izuku saying, Laura, After saying this, Laura soon says, Shoji, can I trust you to look after 13 and the others here? Mina, can you do the same? Saying, you got it. You two just be safe down there. As Ochako saying, Hano, I'll be fine. After all, I got one of our strongest classmates having my back. We just gotta help out Mr. Aizawa, that's all. Soon, 13 saying, I'll give you permission to fight back, but only in self-defense. That's it. As soon, they both nod, saying, yes ma'am, as they head down there. With Aizawa taking down a couple other villains with his as he begins feeling the dry eye, saying, time to take care of the final boss. After saying this, he heads straight for Shigaraki. However, his punch was blocked by the Nomu, saying, you really think I'm the final boss? No. If anything, he's the final boss. With soon Shigaraki was about to touch Aizawa's arm. However, he was soon stopped by two attacks coming straight at him. With Izuku was already behind Shigaraki, saying, you left yourself wide open, as he planned on cutting Shigaraki's torso. But the Nomu took the attack and his arm was cut off in the process, saying, damn, I was close. After saying this, Laura was close right next to the Nomu as her quirk was activated, as a energy like blue flames begins engulfing her and her sword, and soon swing her sword right at the Nomu, cutting off his legs and the other half of his arm and his other arm as well. With Shigaraki saying, "Nomu, how did?" With Kurogiri still fighting against 13, realizing Tomura Shigaraki, no. As he soon heads to Shigaraki and teleports him out of there. As Aizawa was about to scold both of them, as Izuku saying, "We'll take any punishment that you wish for us, Mr. Aizawa. However, we need to help out. That thing is giving off such a menacing presence. You really thought taking care of the supposed ringleader was the thing that was necessary?" So as Laura saying, "There's more to this than meets the eye. It looks like they wanted to get All Might here, but it looks like now that they might have to change their plans. Best thing we can do is probably stall until Ida can get help." As Aizawa was saying, "That's my plan, but you're going to need help. You can't do everything on your own, right, Mr. Aizawa?" As Izuku smiles, saying this, and Laura also smiling to her homeroom teacher as well, with the Nomu already running up to both of them, as they're both shocked, saying, "Wait, how is he able to walk? We cut off his limbs." With Shigaraki saying, "Those damn brats, thinking that they can kill Nomu like that. I'm more surprised that his shock absorption quirk didn't work." With Kurogiri saying, "Shock absorption only works with blunt objects and physical blow and punches and kicks like that. When it comes to swords, it's weakened to them. The shock absorption doesn't work as well. So, Nomu will be able to feel pain, depending on how sharp the blade is." With Shigaraki saying, "Well, that won't do. Let's make sure to kill those brats so Nomu has enough strength to kill All Might, if he shows up after all." As he has a devilish smile behind his hand mask, as Izuku and Laura prepare for battle against the Nomu. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I would love to hear them. Also, like and subscribe, which really helps out the channel. Even check out my gaming channel and my Discord, which I'll leave links in the description below. So with that said, this is Mooky, signing out. Later.